Marc Casper, welcome to the Misfits of Scale series, conversations with disruptive leaders changing business and society. And Marc, in your case, someone who actually started at Bain for a few years and now CEO of Thermo Fisher. Welcome.
Manny, thanks. It's nice to see you, and thank you for having me on the series.
Large companies can find it difficult to act fast, to be like an insurgent. And the last 2 years, during COVID, you've been at the center of vaccine support, COVID testing, supplies. You're involved in over half of the world's COVID testing processes. How have you made that all possible with as fast as you've done it?
The company has been built over many years, focused on customer success. And that's how we measure whether we're doing a good job. And because of that, when there are points of stress, and the pandemic certainly caused incredible stress for the world, the colleagues knew what to do, right? And they had the expectation that they were going to have to mobilize at an unprecedented pace. And that probably was the single biggest ingredient, if you will, towards how do you become an insurgent, even if you're one of the larger companies in the industry.
I do recall how different it was the second quarter of 2020.
Yes.
And the pressure, the intensity for all of us almost to be a little bit defensive. But at the same time, the last 2 years since, on the upswing of the demand for your products and services, you also had to make probably equally tough calls on how fast do you scale up?
Right.
Things like testing capabilities, which the world needs so much. So was that any harder to make the upside calls than the downside ones?
One of the things that we very quickly said was, we're going to support our customers' needs, right? And we're not going to worry about the business implications of doing that well. And that if we did a good job, a differentiated job in supporting our customers' needs, that it'd work out in the long term, right? And we're a well-capitalized company, and so we had that luxury. So we scaled up very aggressively. We built a lot of capabilities and inventory, understanding that if we got it wrong, then it would be very painful.
Any moments that stand out on really tough calls under pressure you had to make during this period?
We as a management team very quickly pivoted to, all right, what are we trying to accomplish? And that led to some tough calls. And those guiding principles became very straightforward, which is keep our colleagues safe, keep our customers operational, and exit the pandemic a stronger industry leader. And the first thing we did, we went to the debt markets and raised cash. We cut the compensation for all colleagues globally with a very clear view. We're focused on preserving employment. So if you're more senior, you're going to take a larger pay cut. If you're more junior, much more modest. And the good news is, because of how the company's performed, that all of that got repaid, and we have recognized our colleagues tremendously over the last couple of years. But those decisions about talking to, at that time, about 80,000 people, that the world looks very bleak and here's what we're going to do, that's clearly was a tough call to make.
And so Marc, as you look ahead, we talked about scale insurgents. How do you see the next few years and the decades for Thermo Fisher and staying as nimble and agile as you've been?
If we get complacent, if we think we've earned something and we're entitled to something, then our future's not going to be particularly bright. And so that's really how I think about it. It's totally in our control. It's all about, do we want it? Are we going to be intense about it? And are we not going to let the company's scale actually become a detriment because we don't eliminate the things that could get in our way?
This kid who wanted to make a difference has also been a lifetime hockey player. I'm not a hockey player. I grew up in Manila. Other than the overused metaphor in business, skate to where the puck is going, I know that one. But any more valuable lessons from your hockey life that's applied to your business career?
Yeah, Manny, I enjoyed playing as a younger person, and I'm an avid fan today. And I think the thing that for hockey for me was the split-second decision about risk and reward. Do you break for the puck? Is that going to create an opportunity for your team? Or are you creating an undue risk? And it becomes instinctual about that split-second decision about where you go. Either could actually look good at first, it actually cause your team to be set back. And I think about that's translated incredibly to business, not in the split-second fashion, but about always characterizing and understanding the risks that you're taking when you make an action. And getting that balance right has allowed me to pursue a career that we've been able to build the company over time.
Marc Casper, a misfit of scale, a hockey-playing, successful growth CEO. Thank you for spending time with us and sharing some of your lessons.
Thanks to you and all of the Bain colleagues for all the assistance that's given Thermo Fisher over the many years.